From the 2006 midterm elections to the 2008 presidential election, the Ohio state of has been dominated by Democrats. But now it seems the tides may be changing. Just as quickly as voters embrace the Democrats, they are now ditching them, leaving many seats up for grabs. Joining us today are Greg Haas, Democratic strategist and author of The Butcher's Thumb, you know, the thumb on the scale, and Ken Blackwell, the senior fellow at the American Civil Rights Union. Guys, thank you very much for joining us today.
Good to be with you.
Greg, what happened to your Democrats?
Well, you know, these two-year cycles actually are almost more the rule than the exception. And I remember 1980 being very depressed when then Governor Reagan swept into office and we lost the Senate by big numbers. And then 1982, I had one of the best nights of my life. And since then, I've noticed that these two-year cycles actually are more common than not. And I think this is, you know, another example of that.
Well, Ken, when you look at the governor's race right now, where Kasich, according to the polls, is up a little bit, that's extraordinary given the fact that the President of the United States, I think, has been out to Ohio a dozen times. And Bill Clinton has been out there. The Democrats have thrown the kitchen sink at Mr. Kasich, and yet Strickland is trailing right now.
Yeah, and look, Strickland stands to be the second governor in the last 4 years only to keep the governor's office for one 4-year term. The last Democrat to get kicked out of office after one term was John Gilligan. Look, the economy in the state is dismal.
Sure.
It has lost 400,000 jobs, and I think the people are basically saying jobs were the #1 issue on the agenda, and the president has failed, and so has the governor.
Greg,
but it's going to be a close race. It's going to be a close race. This is a turnout race in the governor's race in Ohio.
Okay, and of course we're going to be up late tonight here at Fox to bring all the results. But Greg, you know, let's face it. Even though the president has come to campaign for Strickland, this has, in a lot of places, become a nationalized referendum on Barack Obama, because people across the country just are saying, you know what, we don't like what he's doing. We don't like what the Democrats are doing. They're saying, stop.
Sure, but we had candidates for statewide office in 1982 that wouldn't appear with Ronald Reagan. I mean, this is not uncommon for a first-term president to have trouble at this point.
Okay.
I think that, but I'll tell you, I mean, Ken brings up the 400 million job loss, and certainly that's been the major issue with the Republicans. They've done a good job of.
Sure, there's definitely problems with the economy. Ken, I'm going to give you 10 seconds.
Yes, a classic overreach on the part of both Strickland and Obama, and as a consequence, the Republicans will be put on probation to see if they can deliver jobs.
All right, guys, you did a great job. We thank you both for joining us today from Ohio.
Thank you.
You bet. As the polls open.